it.
Yeah.
And people freak out.
You could fill up an unusual amount in this bucket, and I don't want to watch that. What the hell? I got some time. I'll check it out at least.
When was the last time you bought a Playboy magazine?
Oh my God! I don't think I ever bought ever.
The last one I bought was in '96.
Okay.
Because Kiss did their reunion tour with the makeup.
Sure.
And they did a spread in Playboy of Kiss posing with naked women in Kiss makeup.
That's double porn for you. I hate Kiss, but I know you love them, and I understand why. I get it. That's double porn, but that doesn't ruin it for you.
No.
You know what? That to me is like when they keep moving in porn, like the camera off the lady and onto the dude's face, who always has a mustache for some reason. Why is the camera on his face?
The worst part is if you're playing with yourself, that's when you come, is when they show the guy's face.
Yeah. Oh no!
And you're like, oh my God, does that make me gay? I swear, I just couldn't hold on.
Bad timing all the way around.
I just couldn't hold on.
Just bad timing.
Anyway,
Hugh Hefner, right?
Hugh Hefner. There's a couple of facts about him that people don't know.
Okay.
Now that he's dead, he's going to be buried next to Playboy's first cover girl. Do you know who that was?
No, I don't.
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, yeah,
Playboy's
I
first
did know
cover
that.
girl.
Yeah.
She's in a crypt in L.A.'s Westwood Village Cemetery.
So he must have had that plan for quite some time.
He bought it in 1992 for $75,000.
Wow.
And so he will be buried next to Marilyn Monroe. Can I just say, can I go off a little bit here?
Sure.
What is the fascination with women on Facebook with Marilyn Monroe?
I don't get it.
Like
I don't know.
She was beautiful. Mm-hmm. She was fairly talented.
Yeah.
But why is she suddenly like this huge icon that women need to put her on a pedestal to justify their bad behavior?
I know. Yeah. She had a lot of cool quotes. She was a bright lady.
Supposedly. I don't know if they're even her. Well, the one that I see all the time is, if you can't handle me at my worst, you certainly won't handle me at my best.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, first of all, did Marilyn ever say that? And second of all, it's just these women who act like bitches and they're trying to justify it with a Marilyn Monroe quote.
A lot of that is,
yeah. I will never handle you at your best.
Yeah, I'm not interested. If that's the kind of, like, if that's how we're going to start this out, then guess what? I don't want to handle you at all.
Right. And then they'll say, back in 1962, Marilyn Monroe's measurements were, 36, 24, 36.
Started on the body image thing,
and today that would be considered fat.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm a 48, 62, 71. I'm as curvy as she. No,
good for you.
No, you don't look like Marilyn Monroe. Stop it. You're nothing like Marilyn Monroe.
Right. Yeah. I don't even know where to begin on that, because I had an ex that did that. Big Marilyn Monroe fan. She had the Marilyn Monroe pictures and quotes everywhere. And all other things, it just annoyed me.
Right.
It was just annoying. Make up your own fucking quote.
Yeah. Rely on yourself.
Yeah.
And how about this? Try to be at your best all the time.
Okay. All right.
How about that?
Now you're shooting your own positive.
Right. How about this, ladies? Just try to be at your best all the time. Right, I try to be at my best.
Do better.
Just do better.
At our best in a garage in fucking Denver. Yeah. We're doing our best.
We are.
Just live your life like us, and everything will be great. Yeah.
People could do a lot worse than being like us.
I don't think I want to follow you on this one. I don't really want to be down your road.
Anyway, no, I'm just saying that we're model citizens.
Yeah, of course. Because we don't go out of our houses. If we were forced to be out of our houses, we'd probably be terrible criminals.
Right. Yeah. Which is another reason I don't go to football games.
Can I tell you something about Hugh Hefner? He just, to me, is the saddest.
Yeah.
Saddest character. Probably, in like American figures that we all know.
Yeah.
To me, he's the saddest. Because he insisted that this made him happy. And I don't believe for one second. Maybe it did while he had all his faculties about him and he was healthy.
Yeah, you see pictures of him in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, it's a great time.
And he's traveling and he's wearing clothes.
Clothes, yeah.
And he's hanging out with just not like hot women, but like really interesting people as well. Actors and movie stars and politicians.
Yeah.
So maybe, you're right, maybe up until 82? Maybe he was happy.
Right, but then you're in your, back when he was in his 80s and now 90 and whatever, he's sitting in that room summoning 25-year-old girls to his disgusting bedroom. And at the end, when he's sick and he's tired and he doesn't want to have sex anymore, there's no one really who cares for you.
No.
They're just waiting. They're running the clock out.
And there's
for you
dirty
to die.
dishes all over the place. I'm sure his room was a fucking
he
mess.
was. I think they said some insider that was in the mansion all the time said it just was in disrepair, and he wanted it that way.
Yeah.
He was one of these guys. He had all these movies, big movie fan, and he had all these old movies. He would not convert them to digital. He had to have his fucking weirdo collection.
So he was just a sad old man.
Sad old man.
Yep. You know, he was also deaf. According to one of his many
Legally
ex-wives,
deaf, one of those things.
He taking too much Viagra made him deaf.
Blow your eardrums out, huh?
So now I think that might just be a rumor, but I'm just going with what they say.
What about the rumor that there used to be tunnels? This one I love. And he debunked it in the, I think, late 90s. He tried to pretend like it was a hoax that they had made up for publicity for Playboy.
Right.
But the claim was that back in the day, and I think it was the late 70s, early 80s, there were tunnels that went underground to the nearby houses of James Caan. I'm trying to remember who else. James Caan.
Probably some other Hollywood swinger types.
Yeah, Nicholson.
Yeah. Okay.
They said.
Oh, great.
Who else? Kirk Douglas.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
How cool is that?
And so the tunnels, what? Women would go through the tunnels?
No, these guys, instead of having to enter and maybe press being there or people seeing them going through the gates and getting let in, they just would go downstairs to their house and walk to the underground tunnels.
Wow.
And, middle of the day, middle of the night, whatever it was. And
wow. They were like horny Viet Cong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going through the tunnels.
Something like that. But those are the kind of stories that I want to believe.
Oh, instead of the Tet offensive, it was the Tit offensive.
Tit offensive. Good one. Very good.
Thank you. I got one more thing.
Okay,
you know who,
more Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner. He's his ninth cousin is President George W. Bush.
Is that right?
That's right. Which is odd because the last 20 years there's been no Bush in Playboy at all. Thank you.
You could never see anything.
No.
You know what you want to see.
Yeah.
It was never available. And then they made a huge mistake a couple of years ago. They decided to... Was it a couple of years ago or was it not that long ago? Maybe a year?
Uh-huh.
They decided to go no more nudes.
Yeah.
Did you know
like, and then people were wondering why no one is buying Playboy
Yeah, and
anymore.
it went from almost selling no copies to selling literally no copies.
They sold negative 1 million copies.
Exactly. So rest in peace, Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, I'm sure. First of all, is he in a better place? Because I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
See,
I have this moral dilemma with me when it comes to smut and smut. Such an old word. Smut.
That's because when I'm on stage, I work blue.
Get your rubbers. We're gonna look at some smut.
Don't work blue because you're talking smut.
I will consume pornography all day long with not one hint of regret or feeling immoral or shame.
Right.
But I think that anybody who distributes it is a piece of shit. That's kind of judgmental and hypocritical, right?
Well, you know what? I kind of feel the same way.
Yeah.
Because I love martinis. I love bourbon. I drink them almost every single day of my life. But I get so pissed off when I see alcohol
Liquor
commercials
ads,
on TV.
Yeah, why would you do that
I'm
to
like,
people?
why are they showing that during SpongeBob? There's no way my kids are going to drink it.
You're playing on our weaknesses,
right.
God damn it.
Now, kids, go get me some crushed ice.
You don't need liquor ads. Smirnoff sells itself.
I know.
DOS. Disk Operating System.
DOS. Here's number 2.
Story 2. What do I think I have it over here. Yes. Fantastic. Way to go. There are many places the First Lady's book donations, Melania Trump, could go, but apparently Cambridgeport Elementary School is not one of them. The librarian at an elementary school in Cambridge, Massachusetts,
the library.
Recently turned down a shipment of Dr. Seuss books from Melania Trump, criticizing the First Lady's choices as a bit of a cliche, a tired and worn ambassador for children's literature.
Uh-huh.
The books were sent as part of a White House effort to make National Read a Book Day on September 6th. Maybe I should participate in National Read a Book Day.
How about read a paragraph?
Yeah, read a paragraph. One school from each state was chosen to receive 10 Dr. Seuss books. 10? You're the White House. get a fucking gross
Well, wait. First of
together.
all, this is something that every White House does every year.
But 10 books?
Every first lady. Well, 10 books to how many different
To
places?
every school. Yeah, I gotcha. Fine.
Yeah, that's thousands of books.
Right. One school from each state was chosen to receive 10 Dr. Seuss books, along with a letter from the First Lady.
Okay, so 10 times 50 is how much?
What is that?
10 times 50?
500?
Yeah. So 500 books they sent across the country.
Well, fantastic. I can send 500 books. I got 500 books nobody's reading upstairs. Letter from the First Lady that read, getting an education is perhaps the most important and wondrous opportunity of your young lives.
Did you just say First Lady?
First Lady? So we're in the wrong episode. This is not episode, what was it, 4 or 5? The
No,
Asian
this
joke?
isn't the Asian joke at all.
But Cambridgeport Elementary School's librarian Liz Phipps Sorow.
Oh, is there a hyphen?
She's a hyphen. Rejected the books and
course.
explained why in an editorial. I know, we'll get back to that. And explained why in an editorial for the Horn Books reading blog. My students have access to a school library with over 9,000 volumes and a librarian with a graduate degree in library science. Multiple studies show that schools with professionally staffed libraries improve students' performance. This cruise continues. She also faulted the choice of books, which included The Cat in the Hat, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, The Foot Book, Green Eggs and Ham, and Oh, the Places You'll Go. You may not be aware of this, but Dr. Seuss is a bit of a cliche, a tired and worn ambassador for children's literature. As First Lady of the United States, you have an incredible platform with world-class resources at your fingertips. The librarian also wrote, later adding another fact that many people are unaware of, is Dr. Seuss's illustrations are steeped in racist propaganda, caricatures, and harmful stereotypes.
You know what's a cliche?
What an asshole.
You know what's a cliche? Women with hyphens in their name.
I know. Come on.
That's a cliche. Pick a name. Shit or get off the pot.
Oh, man.
Pick a name.
It's brutal.
By the way, I'm calling bullshit on this woman, too, this librarian. There are pictures of her from 2014 dressed as the Cat in the Hat at some party.
It's a Halloween party.
Holding
Doing
the
Jell-O
book
shots.
in the library. No, unfortunately, no. I guarantee that Miss Hyphen has never done Jell-O shots.
No, she's no fun.
No, I'm saying she's no fun.
She's no fun.
Anyone that writes a letter, and of course she was in
No. I would disagree with you. I know what you're talking about.
Right.
That repressed sexual energy, anger
Yeah.
that lingers with a woman like this.
Right.
It would act. She had some freedom. It was in her college days. Absolute. I believe that they were repressed in high school.
Right.
And we'll come back to college for a second. They go to college, right? And then they re-repress themselves after they get married, and they just have this pent-up fucking energy and anger.
I think what happened...
But in college, they sluiced it up.
Right.
They were just humping lampposts.
But then someone broke their heart. And that's
Yes.
when they became repressed. And that's when the fucking hyphen made an appearance.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was just, Mary Smith.
Right.
And then some guy or some girl broke her heart. And the next day she started filling out, Mary Smith hyphen no fun. That
No
was her
fun.
name
Hyphen no
for the
fun.
rest of the time she was in college.
Yeah, and she's married to a guy she can just pick on daily.
Absolutely.
Just abuse him.
Yeah.
His name is like Larry.
Probably one of the janitors that works at the
He
library.
wears a sweater vest. God forbid Larry drops a fucking spoon
Oh, my
while
God.
she's watching, Rachel Maddow.
God forbid.
She probably gets up and kicks him in the back of the knee.
God forbid he should come home with the wrong newspaper. He walks in the house carrying the New York Post. Oh, all hell breaks. She rolls it up and beats him over the head with the newspaper.
Larry has a bachelor's degree, but is not allowed to say a word in his own home.
But it is in art history.
He's always cooking.
Always cooking. But the meals never meet her standards.
Never.
No.
Never.
Because the eggs aren't cage free. the beets aren't organic.
Yeah. The quinoa's not quinoa
Quinoa's
enough.
not quinoa-ish.
Yeah. Does Kraft make quinoa now? I bet you they do.
I bet they do. Kraft quinoa.
Yeah. So there you go. Melania Trump's books were turned down by Cambridgeport Elementary School in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
And it's just the First Lady doing First Lady stuff. That's
She's
all
just
it is.
her- yeah, it's
That's
part
what
of her role.
Every First Lady has certain things that they have to do every year.
Yeah.
I'm sure Michelle Obama, I'm sure Laura Bush, I'm sure they've all sent books during Read a Book Week all over the country.
And I'm sure Michelle Obama and the previous First Ladies encountered hyphenated name lady with cobwebs in her vagina were mad about him for something.
Right.
Right?
They can't win.
The cycle continues.
1, 2, 3.
Here's number 3.
Story 3.
Meanwhile, in Ireland,
Ireland?
not only that, this is our chance to do more bad
No,
accents.
we can't. We can't because I can't do an Irish